Shrinking the house here, guys. Sunday, after you know what a game. Didn't start out that great, more of some pretty darn good defensive stops, which, you know, when you're a real fan, that's pretty impressive to see, the stripping of the ball, right? But man, did it ever get good. I just know better. You know, I just can't believe how they find the Chiefs the underdogs. That makes no sense. How do you make the champs, the ex-champs, underdogs in any playoff game, regardless of where you finished in the season? Even I knew better. I would have never bet against them in this game, and I picked them to win. And it's horrible the way they methodically do that to teams. Like, I felt for San Fran. I mean, it doesn't matter how they beat you. They're going to beat you, even if it comes down to the last play of the game. You know, Mahomes has the championship belief that he knows he can bring his team to the promised land. I played soccer for 32 years and won a lot of titles. That our teams won a lot of titles, and I just know what it's like to just have that mindset that you are the best, right? Just like I am on YouTube. I believe I'm the best. I don't care about who has the most followers. I am the champ. The shrink, you know, I'm here to help. You know, if people want to come on, you know, the people were begging for me to play the system, so I did. And, you know, of course, someone had to come out and say, that sounds like shit. Well, that's nice. Even if it did, and if I listened to someone else's system, I would never say that. Because it's different. Everyone's on a different path as to the signature they want to create in their space. And their space is completely different in what to work with. So at the end of the day, I did a huge teardown, like the video that's getting so many views. That was so much work, guys. I was sore for 3 days. It was like doing yoga for 4 hours straight, hiding all the wires, moving 2 complete full racks, TV room, to get all the equipment behind, right? Which you can see it. Not very well from there, but I've already shown y'all. So I just want it to be more of a reference room where I can do experiments and things like that if needed. But I've run into that frickin' dilemma again, where I had 2 full systems here, like however many months ago, that were working pretty darn well together, including the speakers, right? So before, I always used to use the line magnetic with the spatial. It was a superb match, you know, with my turntable. But digital sources there was a little bit too much gain there. There was a bit of a voltage mismatch when it came to the volume, because I'm very fussy as to when I want my music to start to get loud relating to the volume knob. Some of you may be like that, some may not care, and that's cool, but that's why I built a whole digital system separately. So basically the shrink needs help now mentally, because I've come up against another frickin' roadblock. You know, I got the bel canto running with the spatial, it edges out the line magnetic pairing. It's absolutely superb. I stream with it. I listen to a turntable, the pure fidelity through it. But I now have the SL7, right? And I have my CD player. There's one thing missing, though, and that's goddamn speakers. So I brought a pair in. A friend brought a pair over. They're very rare, Acoustic Technologies. They're a company that went out of business a long time ago because the fellow died. They're tall columns with a single 3-inch driver, similar to, it's almost like a PMC transmission line. There's a huge port at the back. Now these things were really, really well made. I mean, they had the Carta speaker taps, beautiful veneer. Oh shit, why don't I do it? I'm not gonna do a review. They're coming out for y'all here. You're going to be able to see those, right? Go up closer if you want. Let's see. They're really, really beautiful speakers, guys. I mean, look at the finish, right? Look at the finish. It's got a wood cap on it here. Beautiful modified tang band driver. But when you go around they're 38-inch tall, 6 wide. They're very kind of like almost like a totem size. But you go down here, you see those lovely Cardus yeah. The light's just not going to allow to see them. Those beautiful Cardus binding posts down there, right? So yeah, I had really high hopes for these speakers. And they go for next to nothing on the used market. It's just how it goes. The used market's a very funny place. So I paid, these retailed $2,500 US when they retailed, or when they were current. So that's quite a bit of money to land in Canada. But they bring next to nothing on the used market. But they came up, and I thought, oh wow, those are going to be amazing. Those are going to be just awesome with the line magnetic. It's going to drive them easily. I'm going to have enough bass. And unfortunately, when they came in, it's just fucking lean. They just didn't get... I'm not expecting subterranean bass, but they just didn't have any extension at all. They're pretty damn good mid-range and top end. I really love the aesthetic, the way they fit in with the spatials. I just put the spatials a bit over to have those 5 feet apart like the manual wants, and that's how they displayed them at shows. It's more for a smaller space, but it just goes to show, guys, once you got enough experience and you make a change, it becomes very, very difficult, even harder than it was before when you didn't have the experience, because you're looking for something that you knew you had at one point, right? But luckily, someone's coming to pick them up tomorrow and getting these fucking monster boxes out of here. But that's not the end of the story. I've always been very intrigued by the company. Another master engineer that passed away, Merlin Audio, guys. I know some of you may even own some that watch me. And I've never heard them. I've never seen them in person. But I've read a lot about them with their different... they have network RC, these networks that plug on almost like when you, what are those called now? I hate when I go on video and I get mental blocks. Where there's 4 sets of binding posts and then you got to put in these jumpers. They look kind of like jumpers, but they have like either a dual-in capacitor. So they're called an RC network, which really enhances the speaker. So there was different levels, and these were the top of the line. They were one step from the top of the line when it came to the speaker. So these were the TSM triple M's, Merlin, but then there was a Black Knight edition or something that came above it, but these did have the top networks with the dual caps, right? So, and they were pretty big. They're 16 by 8 by 11. So, but they're sealed. So I've had smaller stand mounts ported that gave me enough bass here, satisfying, just enough, right? So the guy brought those over, and I actually paid him money because I know him, and I didn't want him to waste his time because I told him, look, if they're not right, I'm not going to be able to buy them. So they came in. I've never seen them in person. Really heavy, very well made, beautiful speakers. So they have these 3 rods, thin brass-colored rods, in the baffle. You guys have seen them before. Those are actually tuning rods that are embedded right into the baffle. They're incredible. But what they have, and I've always known this, is Morel drivers. Okay, now Morel, although they're very good, they're extremely hard to drive, regardless of what the rating was of 87. The line magnetic has driven speakers easily with that rating, and they were an 8 ohm load that could go down to only 6.5. So I thought, okay, these are gonna do it for sure. And fuck me, man, they come in, and again, I'm sitting in the chair and I fire them on, and he's here with me, and it's God, is the mid-range and top end. It's the best I've ever heard, and I don't know how many stand mounts, guys, over the 30 years. So many. But again, they were lean in the bass, and It might be because they're a sealed design. It might be just synergy, but also you have to really turn up the volume. They are not a good speaker at a low listening level, and that has to be there. They have to be good at low listening levels for me to want to own, and the spatials are that. So again, it's been a very trying last couple of days. Luckily, I'm not out of pocket any with these experiments, but I'm in a bad place. I'm ready to give up on the line magnetic because I don't want to keep going through this. I'm not going to even buy off the used market and buy blind. I'm just going to have to, I don't know, man, just my dealer might be able to help me out. But yeah, this is what I mean, guys. It just continues to go, right? And, I already know what the great pairing is. So basically, there's a pair of speakers missing from what I call it's the tool shed here for the demonstrations. But so there, anyways, I really appreciate the guys that have donated, the money to my channel, whatever it may be, $1, $2. It really means a lot to me. And there's a little heart down there by the search bar. If you feel so inclined, you want to support me, you can. But like and subscribe. I can do videos almost every day, and nothing's going to stop me. When I go back to work in a couple of weeks, there might be not as many, but now that I have all my components over in this room, 2 turntables, I have another full system coming. Full system, not component, one that's obscure. Just to do, to show you guys something that I believe is amazing for that price point. An entire system, okay? So, please like and subscribe. Take care.